Welcome to the thriving metropolis of Bowie's Creek, North Carolina.
Well, actually, Bowie's Creek is that way.
On this special edition of Good Mythical Morning, Rhett and Link return to their childhood environs, Bowie's Creek, North Carolina, where they haven't been for many years, and experience, along with you, the things that made their childhood special and informed their novel, The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek.
We wanted to come back to Bowie's Creek to revisit a lot of the locations that made their way into The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek.
In fact, we originally, in the first transcript of the book, we had written Bowie's Creek as the name of the town. But the world, the setting of Bowie's Creek is really what inspired Bleak Creek. Basically, the reason that Bowie's Creek is here in a lot of ways is Campbell University. I mean, a lot of this is new.
What is all of this?
Look at this. Construction is happening, Link. Right as we come in, I don't even know what that is.
It's traffic circle.
Traffic circle?
We had never seen or heard of a traffic circle.
It's too European. I don't understand it.
When we were growing up in Bowie's Creek,
We would not have known how to navigate a traffic circle. I still kind of don't know how to navigate a traffic circle.
pretty dicey.
There's two branches at least at Bowie's Creek, right? I guess a
Oh,
west,
there's a huge turtle on the side of the road.
west and an east, and then they.
Let's go back and get that turtle.
What do you want to do? Eat it?
We can put the turtle at the creek, because I think he's looking for the creek, and we say, this is Bowie's Creek. I can turn to the camera and I can say, this is Bowie's Creek. This is Bowie's Creek. So we're all getting out here. There's gonna be a turtle, there's gonna be a creek.
Hold on. He left the side of the road. He knew we were. Hold on.
Here he is, right there.
Look at the size of the turtles that you can find in Bowie's Creek.
Welcome to Bowie's Creek. Is that what I said? This is Bowie's Creek. Welcome to Bowie's Creek. Literally, we're at the creek.
Yes.
Do they float? You just put them in the water?
No, just fit him right here. He'll probably go towards the water on his own. Go be free, little one. Big one, actually.
You were already free. Continue to be free. Look, there he goes.
And, oh,
Oh my goodness.
I guess he's used to that. Do you think he meant to do such a hard nosedive?
If we don't accomplish anything else on this trip, I feel like we've released a turtle into the creek that was already probably hanging around the creek. It's safe to say this is the first time that the two of us together have gone back to Bowie's Creek to relive anything from like a nostalgia perspective.
Yeah.
And I love nostalgia, so I've been very, very excited.
So let's buckle up.
So that's Rhett's old house right there.
The gray two-story is the house I grew up in. The basketball goal used to be right here. I probably shot 50,000 shots on this thing. Well, maybe more than that. And these people
Chumps.
just built a house there.
And they painted it purple.
Purple.
Now your house, when I first met you, it was yellow. It was like bright yellow.
And then my dad got vinyl siding.
I remember you came to school and you were bragging about vinyl siding. Like for days.
I'll
You're
still-
like, well, you know, it's superior. Like
I'll
the
still
way,
brag about it.
the way you can,
I mean,
it's
look how
durable.
Look, this many years later, it looks like a brand new house. Vinyl siding holds up. That guarantee my dad paid for is being lived out right here in front of your eyes.
Now your parents don't live there anymore. You should explain that.
My parents don't live there anymore. I should explain that.
Whoever's inside has probably noticed a very huge van out front.
Now, I know the guy, kinda, who lives there, Jake, because he lived in the house, his parents lived in the house next door that I would visit my parents after I went off to college and stuff. And so my dad sold him the house when he grew up and was ready to start a family and move into a house. How's it make you feel? Coming to the McLaughlin house.
It's really restored my faith in vinyl siding.
Check that out. This is the McLaughlin brick. You rub it for good luck. I'm glad that they did not remove it.
We should knock on the door before we start rubbing on the house.
Hey,
up?
Jake, what's up, man?
How are you?
You grew a big beard.
Big old beard.
Hey man, I'm Link.
Pleasure to meet you.
So you were warned that we're coming.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we wanna go to my old bedroom.
Yeah, come on.
The very specific thing that we were interested in and going to my house was to go to my room and to play the game that we've now featured in 2 books, which we ended up calling Testa Kill. The simple game of sitting across from each other with your legs spread and throwing a Nerf ball at each other's nuts.
Do you remember what side you sat on? My vision of the room was always you on that side. Because I felt like I was next to my bed. Like that, I sort of owned that spot because I was like inviting you into the room to come throw things at my nuts.
Yeah, so I'm gonna sit here. You sit there.
We're a lot bigger than we used to be. I mean, I don't remember our feet touching.
Yeah, no. So I could be back like this.
I feel like those pants that you got on offer
me an
a
advantage.
distinct advantage because you've got like a hard.
Hard what?
No, you've got like a.
I've got a.
Pull them up a little bit. The jeans that we wore back in the day were, they fit different. And you got to remember, Lincoln, it wasn't hard. It was like you rolled the ball like this at each other's nuts. I know what you're thinking. You're about to do a baseball throw.
The philosophy in The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek is that, if there's something that we did that sort of really we think is very specific to our childhood and something that kind of represents our friendship and some just weird things that we did as friends, if we can put those into this book, I think it'll add a lot of texture and a lot of color to these characters of Rex and Leaf, who are us, but also not us at the same time.
That was light, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh! Ooh, and it
It makes such a good sound. Good thing we don't need to use these balls anymore. What?
3 kids later, the stakes are much lower.
That's right.
And by this point, we would be cackling like this and in pain. And Rhett's dad would come up and say, "What the hell are you doing?"
Well, we talk about that in the first book, but in the novel, we talk about him coming up and thinking that he's going to be mad about something, but it's a twist.
You're going to get to that scene in the book and you're going to be like, oh yeah, this is that game. But for the people who are just picking up the novel and reading it with no point of reference, you're like, is there really a scene where these 2 teen boys are throwing Nerf balls at each other's nuts? And then that happens in the middle of there's something else that happens in the middle of the scene, which kind of sends it in a different direction.
I don't like having to look so intently.
No, that's what the pitcher's got to look right at the mitt, man.
Close your eyes. Hey, relax.
Relax. I can't.
Oh gosh, I hit your freaking knee.
I can't.
I'm trying.
It's the most
Come on.
It's the most unsettling thing that I've ever. I got you because I was talking.
I was hungry.
What?
Oh, and it was.
What is that?
It was the right one again.
What does that have to do with anything?
I'm nauseous now.
I was hungry. Thank you. I was hungry.
See, I have a lot of memories of us hanging out at your house. And
Right.
Do you have any memories of hanging out at your house?
Yeah, and other things.
Like what?
Just like my
You have other memories?
like my entire life.
Okay.
That was the joke. Not other things with you.
Brett has memories.
What I mean
that
is
don't
that,
involve his
do you
house.
remember things at your house? I mean, yeah, like I grew up there.
So one of the things that we've been talking about wanting to do is basically recreate the way that we would travel across town and meet up with each other back in 1992.
Yeah, so this would be your departure point. You'd hop on your bike. I'd leave from my house, hop on my bike.
It'd be nice if it was as authentic as it was before, which that was before cell phones. So we just had to set a time, and you just had to be there.
Well, it's going to take 5 minutes to drive to my house, but then it would take about 20 minutes to.
I'll meet you at the graveyard in 45 minutes. So in case you have a little accident, you want to stop and get a drink, you've got time.
There's nowhere to stop and get a drink.
In case you have an accident. 45 minutes.
All right. Should I go now?
Yeah.
We should have started at my house. Welcome to my homestead. This is the home within which I grew up. I mean, the house is special because when Mom went through her divorce, and we really both went through the divorce, and it was like that house represents for us starting a new phase of our lives and being on our own. And I know for Mom it was like very it had to be very scary to say, okay, now it's just me and my son, and it's up to me to make a way for us. As you can see, we fancied brick over vinyl siding. We knew that was superior. And we planted these trees. It's crazy to see how much bigger these trees have gotten. Like, the tree was my height when we planted it. It's funny how trees grow over time in this area. This is where my mom parked in the carport. We were like, well, if we're gonna get our own house, it's gotta have a carport. And then my dog Tucker would chill out beside the car. This is Tucker's resting place. I'll show you his final resting place a little bit later. One day I came home from school and Tucker didn't get up to greet me because he was dead. So he's a pretty big dog. But for some reason we had this like refrigerator box, or we acquired one. And then Rhett and I dug a hole and buried him right here. There was a divot for a long time, but it's kind of smoothed itself out. So we dug a hole, not quite deep enough. Talked about it in the Book of Mythicality. It was right here. So here lies Tucker, my dog. Tucker, you've been memorialized in 2 books now. I played my trumpet as part of like a funeral service. I can only imagine what the neighbors were thinking. And then it rained. And the next day, Brett and I came out here to check on the grave, and it was just like a big pile of mud. And we took off our shoes and we rolled up our pants legs, and we jumped in the grave. I'm not proud of it. I don't know why we did it. It just seemed like a funny thing to do. I really love Tucker, but he was in a box. So like when we sunk in, my feet just hit the box. I'm not saying that it was the right thing to do. I'm not saying I'm proud of it. I just remember that we did it. And I do have pictures to prove it, I think. It was cold. The mud was very cold. Why am I sharing this? I showed them Tucker's gravesite, and I told them what we did.
You told them about jumping into it?
I told them that we did a funeral service and that I played the trumpet, and that we went back the next day after it rained and we jumped in the
And that's why your dog haunts us to this day.
And now I'm still talking about it, and I don't know why. Every time I talk about it, I'm like, I shouldn't be talking about this. This is a PR problem. Rhett said he was gonna allot extra time for me in case I had an accident, but instead I gave you a meandering tour and aimlessly talked about my dead dog. Now, in 1992, bike helmets did not exist, so I will not be wearing one, but you should always wear a bike helmet. I really had to rocket out of my house because Tucker would be going along beside me. And if we made it to this point and he was still with me, I'd have to turn around and go all the way back home and try again in order to wear him out so he wouldn't go wherever I went all day.
So in the book, my character Rex, who's technically me, he rides a scooter because we thought that would be funnier. I'm riding a bike today because it's too daggum hot to ride a scooter.
I'm out of shape.
You're late.
So are you. I pedaled it a long freaking way, man. It's like, it was probably 2 miles.
Well, and
there's that mile-long stretch that's just desolate country road.
It's just so hot. We would meet in the graveyard and then we would ride the actual distance.
Yeah, that wasn't
like all around town. And I just don't ever remembering stopping and thinking, man, it's hot. We should get out of this heat. or we should possibly drink something besides mellow yellow.
Didn't drink an ounce of water all day.
We didn't drink water. We didn't wear sunscreen.
We didn't pee. We didn't wear socks.
Was it all a dream?
So what we would normally do at this point is we would decide where we were gonna go for the day, and then we would go.
Okay, well, we could go to the Grok and sort baseball cards for $1 an hour.
They tore it down.
We'd go to the Fine Arts Building and go into the auditorium and like make chairs fall, and then when people come, we could hide in the orchestra pit.
I'm sure they've instituted new security measures as a result of the first time we did that. We could go to the Oasis and play ping pong and annoy all of the college kids.
I don't think that exists anymore. I think they call it the Student Center.
This is how it worked. We would sit here and we'd bicker about where we were going to go, and then we'd go. We could go to the river, being as it is 100 degrees out here.
We should definitely go to the river, but I kind of feel like going back to the hotel and just getting in the shower right now.
That's a good idea.
This video does not show how bad we were all sweating in North Carolina, but you're going to be sweating it if you don't get your copy of The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek at bleakcreek.com or wherever books are sold.